Alright, so part 2 of my Cyberpunk video. So, I finished Cyberpunk about a day or two ago. Probably say 2 days ago, which is funny because like a day after I finished it, they released a 17 gigabyte patch, which came out yesterday. And it definitely made things a lot more stable. Now I'm playing on the Series X, and out of 50 plus hours, and I'm still going, doing the side quests, basically I've only had one crash. And yes, I've had a few other bugs, but those have more, sort of been fixed since the latest patch as well. I haven't had as many, and the game does feel that slightly more tighter. Not as tight as I'd like it to be, or at least as I feel like it should be, but it definitely feels tighter in terms of a video game. And kind of what I expected. So that is a good thing, and I also imagine that in Christmas, a lot of people are getting Cyberpunk 2077. Now, here's the thing. On Series X and One X, the game runs fairly well, and pretty good. And I imagine also with the new patches. And I think the same for PlayStation 4 Pro and PlayStation 5, more or less. The downside is, yes, PS4 and Xbox One, which even now I've heard with the latest patches made things a lot better, and the only difference is the frame rates hit about 2025 most of the time, which I agree sucks. But hey, we're slowly getting there. Now, I definitely agree. This game should not have been released at this time. It needed more room to cook. And now they've released it. Things like the free DLC and even the paid DLC is going to get pushed back to fix the problems in the game. Now, they might add some things in future patches when they fix this stuff to be like, okay, here you go, here's a bit more. That's fine. But overall, yeah, it should not have been released. But the game is fantastic. This is one of my favorite RPGs ever made already, and this feels like a true sequel to Deus Ex, if you had a true sequel. Not to say I didn't like Human Revolution and Mankind Divided, but this feels like a real Deus Ex game. This is fantastic, and as an RPG, it's a solid RPG. Okay, it doesn't rewrite RPGness of what RPGs are, but it is a solid RPG. And there are some moments in it which, when I do a second playthrough, which will be probably either when the free DLC is out or the paid DLC, or when the whole game is basically Enhanced Edition, maybe, I'll probably jump back in because there are moments where you've got to really pay attention. For example, in a side quest, of all things, I was helping out to grab this woman, right, who's a surgeon, and she's working on some guy. And in the voice, what you can say, it's basically information, dialogue, and let's get the fuck out of here dialogue. But she mentions, scan the guy so we can help him out. Now, there was no dialogue option to scan him, and I thought, well, I can't scan. Oh, no, wait, I've got a scanner in me. Scanned him, and then a whole new thing branched out, and I got to save his life. And then we got out of there. And it was kind of interesting because you got to get a bit more out of the doctor about why she does this sort of stuff. And I thought, that's a really good thing. Like, and then it made me think, how many other quests in this game are there sort of that slightly little different branch that you can get to if you pay attention and just do things differently. And I remember there'll be a few times where you can do that, and I'm just like, wow, I cannot wait to replay this game and kind of jump in and kind of explore that sort of RPGness. Now, of course, it's not going to be every mission, and there have been certain missions where it actually worked pretty well if you're willing to sort of like do something different. But I enjoyed it. I really, really did. And I mean, there was another mission that I took where I got this guy's phone number because he gave me a job, and then now in this job, I was like, you either help this corporate guy out or help the guy out that you just got the number from. I was like, I'm going to try the corporate guy out. And I haven't got a phone call back. Yeah, apparently you do get phone calls and even a few more missions, I believe, from this other guy if you helped him out. I'm like, that's kind of cool. You know, you help this person out and they will get back to you and help you out even more. Like, there are some good RPG elements in this. And the characters and story in this game are superb. Like, you will feel for this game. You will cry in this game. And the game makes you want to just jump back in. When I finished the game's ending, I went back because, luckily enough, it restarts you just before the final mission. And you can redo the final mission and do the other endings. I chose Nomad for those that want to know. The Nomad sort of ending. Not because I chose a Nomad myself, but there is sort of that Nomad ending. If you play the game, you'll kind of know what you can do. But as a male V, I felt like it really fitted his character a lot more so about what happens. And there's even branches out by that. So there's branches out by who you choose, and that depends on what side quests you do. But then it branches out again for a sort of second time within the final decision before you get to the true ending. Like, it's some really good stuff here, and it's really good to explore. And half me hopes that they kind of expand upon that in free DLC or even paid DLC. Like, honestly, this game is fantastic. The gameplay is great. The attributes are great. What you can do in this game is fantastic. The level design is fantastic. Like, when this modding starts becoming a thing, this would be the best Judge Dredd game ever made. So, I'll put that in there, right? Totally. It's so, so good. And I could gush over it for hours. Granted, some things are bad. The cops, for example, they are not very good. They, like, you kill one person, the cops are automatically on you, and they spawn behind you. They will spawn literally behind you. You could be up on a roof, kill someone, and they will spawn behind you. Yeah, that's kind of bullshit. But also, possibly, it will get fixed. And I say possibly because I'm not going to come here and say it will get fixed. But then again, you know CD Projekt Red. They will fix this game. They are already feeling the heartburn from this game. And they're like, no, we want to fix it. We worked too hard on this to fuck it up. We're going to keep fixing it. And they've already shown with the free patches already. With the patches already, that they are actually getting out there to fix this game. And I respect the living smeg out of that. Like, good on them. And they didn't deserve it. The higher up should have just been like, no, we're going to release it next year. March next year. Would have been fine. But they didn't, and that's something that they've got to work for. And the enemy AI can be mixed. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's like, it's mixed, you know. I've definitely seen better AI in other games, and I've seen worse AI. It's in the middle. And I think these things could be saved in in sort of like patches as well. But yeah, like overall, man, this game was fantastic, and it is definitely one of my favorite FPS RPGs ever made. Some of the quests are even up there with Witcher 3, if not better so. Like, there are some damn good quests, and it is a long game, but it is a fantastically good game. Like, it's really, really good, and the main quest line isn't that long. It's only long if you sort of do the side quests, which I, like, please do, because then you get the better endings, because if you don't do those side quests and gain the favour of certain characters, the ending that you do get is a bit like, oh, that's, oof, it's definitely not my favourite ending, but my favourite ending is definitely between the Nomad and the other one, which I'm not going to say. But if you play through the game, get to that ending, you'll know. You choose to take a certain pill, and that's it, basically. But it's really, really good. And I mean, I could gush for it for hours, but this game is just fantastic. And it's so disgusting that CD Projekt Red gets that hate because of the glitches. But it's understandable. But it's also like the higher ups did it, not Projekt Red, because they didn't really want to. It was just the higher ups, not the vast majority of developers in CD Projekt Red. So, yes. But do not skip on this game. If you've got a One X, Series X, PlayStation 4 Pro, PlayStation 5, grab this game. If you've got a PS4 and Xbox One, however, keep your eye out, listen to other people, listen to what they've done, listen to how the game's changed. If you can just plow through it, that's also another thing. But just, keep your head out, keep your eyes open and your ears open, and just check up on YouTube and see what people are saying about these new patches and what they do, and then go from there. Anyway, overall, I love this game, and I would give it it's not a 7, okay? Anybody that says it's a 7, like the fucking stupid GameSpot review, you're fucking wrong. Like, even with its glitches, even with its, like, issues with those AIs, it is not a 7. It's too high a quality in a lot of other aspects for that to be considered a 7. I can see it being an 8. I can see the lowest being an 8 and a 9. It being a 10, however, in terms of characters and story, absolutely. Even gameplay, after a few nicks and knacks and upgrades here and there, fantastic. Overall, though, I'd give it a solid 9, solid thumbs up, solid must play, but only on, say, the next gen consoles and the Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro. The original ones, not so much, because, well, they don't seem to work properly, at least of now. But within the patches and within time, I could see this game evolving to a 10. Enhanced Edition. If you're going to wait for a Cyberpunk Enhanced Edition, then you will get that 10 out of 10 game that you believe would happen from the get-go. But hey, that's just my opinion, my perspective. Anyway, Aussie Viking out. See you in Valhalla. Bye.